You are watching Mega Prophetic on Mega Faith TV. You are watching Mega Faith TV.
And is ready to release a great kidnapping case of a certain white woman, Caucasian woman, that will take over the news. A sudden case, you will hear about this. They'll say, "Oh, this great woman, she's an activist. She is an actor, a writer, a great leader, have been kidnapped." And this case take over all over CNN. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. They keep on saying breaking news, and then they're giving you the breaking news of this woman. And while this woman, the reason behind it all, she's also playing games. But it would not be the way the breaking news is saying. It's all a game that this woman is playing. But it's all a game. It will be a kidnapping case of this great woman.
Sherri Papini case. The California mom was granted bail last night after being charged with faking her 2016 abduction. We're learning new details about her arrest, and Kaylee Hartung has the story. Good morning, Kaylee.
Good morning, George. Authorities say the alleged kidnapping hoax pulled off by Sherri Papini cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars to investigate. Now, the Department of Justice is trying to hold her to account. A judge ruling, though, that she can wait out this legal battle for now at home.
Overnight, the California mother of two, accused of faking her own kidnapping, in tears as she runs out of the Sacramento County Jail into the arms of family and friends, trying to shield her from the cameras. 5 days after her arrest, a judge siding with Sherri Papini's defense, releasing her on a $120,000 bond on the conditions that she surrender her passport, agree not to leave parts of California, hand over any firearms, avoid consuming drugs and alcohol, and participate in a psychiatric program. Prosecutors had argued that the 39-year-old is a flight risk who'd already proven she could run away and successfully hide from law enforcement, as she did when she disappeared for 3 weeks in 2016, citing how she allegedly branded and starved herself as evidence to the extreme lengths she would go to. In court, prosecutors alleging Papini attempted to flee when FBI agents surprised her outside her children's piano lesson to arrest her, but her defense claims she was simply trying to protect her children from what she perceived as danger. Papini's disappearance in 2016 sparking a nationwide manhunt. Shasta County Sheriff's Office Investigations Captain Brian Jackson was on the case from day one, now telling ABC News exclusively about the moment he learned she'd reappeared on Thanksgiving Day.
It was close around 4 o'clock in the morning that I got a phone call. As I started to wake up, trying to figure out if I was dreaming, it was just kind of surreal. Like, what do you mean we found her? Who? And then my mind kicks in at that point. Who? What? How? Is she alive?
Found bound, branded, and bruised, her hair cut short, Papini telling authorities she was abducted and tortured by 2 Hispanic women.
She was bound with restraints, but was able to summon from a passing help from a passing motorist.
But Jackson says the leads she gave him were not helping solve the case.
As investigators, we want answers. We need something tangible to hold on to. And when you don't have that, or you're dancing around some answers that may be there, it can get very frustrating.
Now authorities allege it was all a charade. They say their more than 5-year investigation uncovering evidence that she was staying with an ex-boyfriend more than 600 miles from her home and harmed herself to support her false statements.
Getting to this day, or the day last week when Sherri Papini was arrested, it's been a long wait. I made a commitment, and I told several people that I did not want this to be a cold case when I retire someday. That's the level of commitment that I was focused on.
And Sherri Papini was seen arriving at her sister's house in Chico late last night. It's unclear when or if she'll return home to her husband and 2 kids in Redding. Now, a preliminary hearing has been set for her about 2 weeks from now, but if a grand jury indicts her before then, this will go straight to trial. George.
Okay, Kayla, let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. Dan, I was a little surprised to see her get bail.
You know, there's a presumption of bail. She's presumed innocent in this case. Prosecutors made an argument that she was a flight risk based on some of the things that Kaylee laid out, including how she was arrested and what they say, what seemed like an effort to leave. But in the end, I wasn't surprised that bail was granted because of these charges.
So the ex-boyfriend appears to be a witness. Does that increase the pressure on Papini to strike a deal?
Absolutely. And, you know, I found it interesting, George, the statement from the Papini family representative. And it was interesting to me what they didn't say. They didn't say, she didn't do this. This is mad. This is crazy. They complained about the circumstances surrounding her arrest. They said that they were looking for clarification on some of the charges. Those are the kinds of indications or almost hints that are offered by a defense team or representatives ahead of time, sometimes about the possibility that you could see her pursue a deal. Now, remember, prosecutors are going to have to offer her a deal to make that happen, but I would think that in a case like this, it could be very, very likely.
And, of course, they have additional leverage with the possibility of additional charges against others or additional charges against her.
Right, and I'm particularly interested in the possibility of the ex-boyfriend, right? Because the sheriff has said other charges are possible here. But you have to think about, okay, what sorts of legal questions they're going to have to pursue when thinking about if anyone else would be charged in this case.
I know you've been following this case for a long time. Is it unusual to see an arrest so long after the fact?
I was shocked. I mean, I'll admit, George, we talked about this case a lot in 2016 and 2018. I'd kind of forgotten about it, and I didn't think there was going to be an arrest. The fact that they went back to her in 2020 to get her to restate again her claim that she was kidnapped, and that's the false statement charge that they're using here, was really surprising. And again, this is one of those cases where at first I think a lot of people thought, oh, you know, she was a victim, and then started having questions, and then questioned themselves again. And now, at least according to the authorities, it's all starting to make sense. But I certainly was surprised this much later to see this arrest.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this case will ever make complete sense, but I take your point. Okay, Dan Abrams, thanks.
You are watching Mega Prophetic on Mega Faith TV. You are watching Mega Prophetic.